Wait a minute. Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey here at I almost said July. This is June. This is June 2nd. Friday, June 2nd, 2017. At 16:46 in the afternoon Eastern Time. My internet has been out since 08:37 this morning Eastern Time. It's still out. I called the cable company and they said, there's a general outage in your area. We are working on it as fast as we can. I imagine they are. And so I texted my neighbor Liz, my good neighbor Liz, and she said that they were out, but they probably hadn't gone out as soon as I had done, because she said Henry had been using the computer past about 9 o'clock. So. And she texted me a little later on. She says, we're going to be the last to be restored. So they're supposed to call me. The cable company's supposed to call me when it's restored. But I'll probably know it anyway. The adventure today is, and I'm sure I'm going to get, I can hear people clicking off, unsubscribing right now. Click, 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 click. Things I've lost 2 here in the last 2 days. But you can't go by the YouTube, and it's not about the count, is it? It's about the fun of doing this. It is, actually. It really is. It is. It's about the fun of doing it. Yeah, that's why we do it. We do. I do. Yeah. Well, as I told you I was going to go to this funeral, and I didn't know if I was going to read. It turned out I did not read, and that's, all these things work out for the best in general. And my judge buddy read, and our senior warden Linda Hyde read, and they always do a very nice job. And our previous rector, Charles Wilson, preached, and he always preaches a very good funeral sermon. Always a good funeral sermon. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen this guy probably about 9 or 10 funeral sermons. And they've all been good, but this is the first one where he was, although he was controlling it, he didn't break down, he didn't overtly break down, but while he was preaching there were tears flowing down his face. A little bit. But when Charles got very emotional, his head always turned very red. I mean, like beet red. My surgery chief, when I was an intern, his head did the same thing. And that's when you knew he was feeling really intense about something. And he, as a bit of displacement behavior, he kept pulling out this little tiny bottle of water and unscrewing the lid and screwing it back on to keep from breaking down. And I told him that afterwards. I said, this is the most emotional I've seen you get during one of these things. But it was a good sermon. He's got this thing about this really bad poetry. I mean, really bad poetry. And he read 3 of the sons of bitches during the sermon. Fortunately, 2 of them were up front. And then, but there was one right toward the end. Actually, this was part of an extended metaphor about how a person's life is like a poem. Well, I'll grant that. I'll grant that. That works for a lot of people. That metaphor works for a lot of people, particularly if they're into really bad poetry. Now, if it's like, you know, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, you know, something like that, that'd be great if somebody would liken your life to one of these epic, you know, poems, you know, by John Milton. But no, this is something he found in a couple of magazines. But that's just me. So I got thinking about that a bit, not a lot. Doesn't really merit a lot of thought. And I would like, you know, I would like somebody to think of my life as an essay or a series of essays. Perhaps a collection of essays, to which perhaps at the end could be appended an overarching story. That's what I'd like to think of my life. You know, if you're going to liken it to some sort of literary form. Always interesting to hear him preach at the funeral sermon. Great job, Charles. And his overriding theme was that Carol was a person who projected just huge amounts of loving service into the world to the people around her. And that was so true, so true. Even when she's sitting quietly during a meeting and saying maybe 2 or 3 words, you could always tell that she loved those around her and was, you know, enjoyed hearing what they had to say and so forth, and hearing them listen to what she had to say, which was always wise, always very well considered. Really outstanding. And you know, I'll tell you, her entire family was there. You know, her daughters, their husbands, their children. I think there were parents of the in-laws, of the sisters, or the daughters rather. And Charles Wilson preached. Our interim rector presided. After Charles finished, our interim rector said some more or less off-the-cuff remarks, but very, very good ones. Very, very good ones. I mean, he's a good preacher, our interim rector. And then Judy Hill, a member of our congregation who's a physician, she had some prepared remarks, and she stood up and she had a microphone and she delivered them. And at the end, she read a poem as well. This must have been a poetry day. And there was a bell motif in this poem, and then our organist, who was already up where the bell rope was, we don't have one of the things that goes down clear to the narthex where you can pull on it in front. She rang the bell during that bell motif reference, and it was very, very effective. It worked out very, very well. Unfortunately, we did not do the Apostles' Creed. We did not do the Apostles' Creed. I don't understand that. You know, it's a Christian funeral. Why you can't say the Apostles' Creed, I don't know. There were probably around a good 105, 110 people at the service. The place seats 205, so. Great service. Probably one of the best funerals. Well, I can't say I've been to a bad, well, yes, I can say I've been to a bad funeral a couple of times. Actually, tomorrow it sounds like it's going to be a bad funeral for Donis Lawrence and Robert Lawrence, because there's no scripture readings, although they have 2 lay readers. Well, that's, I don't know why they have them, because they're not going to have a communion, so they don't need the lay readers to do the chalices or read. So why are they even having 2 lay readers? Unless the lay readers are expected to read some of this new age crap that the family has selected. Some people had seen the order of service for tomorrow already, and they were calling it the Millennium Wedding. Well, I have no problem with the so-called millennial generation. These would probably be the grandchildren of the Lawrences, because some of their children have died. I mean, you know. So I know I'm not reading. I don't think there's going to be any music at this thing. Well, not like choir and organ music. Now today we didn't have that much music either. Frankly, we had a prelude. Carol Hollenbeck played a nice prelude. There was a sequence hymn, a short sequence hymn while they came down to read the gospel. And then there was a post-communion hymn, Amazing Grace, and that was it. So it was a relatively short service, and then a very nice reception down in the undercroft/basement. I still like to call it the basement. We ought to actually bury somebody down there, then we could call it our crypt. But it was great, and I got to talk a lot more with Charles, and I told him about my essay/collection of essays/story interpretation, my metaphor versus his metaphor. And we've always talked to each other like that. You know, we can. You know, it sounds like we're getting up in each other's faces, but we're not. I really miss that kind of intellectual exchange that we had while he was here. But he's where he is now, and he seems very happy, and he showed me a bunch of pictures of his church and his congregation and his 2 kids, and I guess he didn't show me, he didn't have a picture of Julie. He says, I see her all the time, his wife. And, so that's good. Yeah, it was a good funeral, and one that I can say in retrospect I'm glad I did not read at. Good. Got to have some extended conversation with some of my favorite folks while we were waiting for the service to start. Yeah. So, waiting for the internet to come back on, and maybe I'll have something to eat here a little later on. Although there was a very nice little spread of food at this reception, and I had a little bit of it. So we had some pepperoni and cheese and a little half of a chicken sandwichy thing. So bye-bye, YouTubers.